Oh, okay, so this is on down where the
Yeah.
creek comes across.
Yeah, it's just before you get to the Shriners Club. Also, on that road, there's two drains, but one by an old barn, another one right in front of the Shriners Club. There's those pictures. These last two, there's no ditches on this one side. And this is on, I believe it's 840. The water runs over the road and freezes. Part of the problem is that there's no culvert up there for the guy's driveway where the water could run out into the field and down into the ditch where it should go.
Where was this one at, Matt?
It's on 840, the road, at the end of Springtown Road that heads over towards Gates. So those two drains definitely need unplugged. Actually, I saw one that wouldn't get filled up with, when the water was running very strong, it filled up with corn stalks from the field, which is next to that ditch. Last year, road crew come down through there, and there's only on each side of my property. I had taken this upon myself because when they dug the drainage ditch from the field down into that one gully beside my property on the south side, they didn't put anything in there to hold the road or the thing in there. They had put gravel in there. I took one myself, put a ground bench in there. They not only let the tear down to the gravel before the roots out. Ground bench would have regrown and stabilized that bank, but they put that out there. On the other side, I had tiger lilies. They tore the tiger lilies out. There was no need even, tiger lilies getting maybe 2 foot high at the most. But they're a good ground cover to hold ground in place. And I'd done that whole section there. Although part of it doesn't belong to me. You can go down there and you drive by and you see green, it looks nice, because one of the last commissioners done that. He didn't have the intestinal fortitude to stop at my house and talk to me about him, not me to show him what was going on erosion wise in either one of those banks. So anyway, I don't know how well this will show you.
Copies.
This here is a picture of the damage. This was up here at one time, and you can see the erosion started. Okay. This is the tiger lilies, and you can see this is a steep bank there. It's been good holding there. There's no tall weeds there where they should have even been mowing. This guy for 2 weeks, run up and down my road, operating this thing, and they can pass it by my house. My question is, he should have had the ability to operate the thing where he wouldn't get in and tear the bank up or tear anything out. There's no problem. I'll try to go on there, right out there. This is where my property line is, and that belongs to somebody else. They start the road here. And in the road here, across there, there's a pond. There's a this down here, empties down here. There's a depression in the road there that's just started, which I think is probably from something deteriorating underneath there before that drain pipe. So, you want to see these?
No, I don't need to. I talked to you, Tim. Did you have any questions?
Anyway, I had those replaced, and, you know, it's on my ground, and I want to see it replaced, and it shouldn't be at my expense. See if there's anything else. That's about it. Built that.
Sorry, your photograph, sorry.
Thank you, Max.
Commissioners, may I make a suggestion?
Yes,
Yeah,
please
and that's
do.
where I'm gonna look at you anyway, so.
Yes,
Can we please take the opportunity to go take a look at the site?
Yeah.
See what it needs.
I ain't gonna tell you.
And I'll be happy to report back to you guys and figure out what we need to do.
that'd be great.
That way you're not making calls blindsided.
Yeah,
As far as the tire lilies and stuff on right of way, I don't know, Max, what happened, but we've got right of way, 30 from center, 40 from center.
20 from center.
20 from center, from each side.
Yes. From each side.
And
Part of that is Mr. Clausen didn't lay anything down because he was afraid people would think he's getting something from the county since he's the county council. That was 13 years ago when I talked to him. This part now, I have no idea. That was before me, so I can't answer it until I go with Roger.
we'll go look at it. Go look at it.
Make sure you stop so I can show you, you know, like I say, if you just drive by and look at it, all you see is green. But that whole bank is starting to collapse right there. And it's because of erosion and part of it's because of the highway department.
Okay.
Okay.
Roger's our engineer. Rusty will be, Rusty travels, or somebody will be with him. So. And maybe me.
One other thing, Russia has a water line in your garage, right, you got all of them. Right there, the Shriners floating in that bridge. I don't know if you have a work order system or what kind of system you got set up there, but it would be like there ought to be some kind of board or something that you get a call, put it on board, and solve the problems.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about signage. I'm not putting signage in.
No. There ought to be some kind of a system set up. I don't know what kind of system you have in the highway department. Where somebody calls in, have a problem. Somebody writes it down on a work order or something. Then eventually it's scheduled in your workbook. So, back up just a minute. I call it 4 times. 3 weeks ago, I seen 2 of these people come down that road, but they always the same 2. They held that off. Everyone just backed up. I never seen any on my road. I don't know if they're down there somewhere, but I've never seen these 2 guys work.
Okay, I guess we'll move on. I have a letter here from Carol Freeze regarding a dead tulip poplar tree on the north side. And I guess DNR happened to be in Covington, and it was their opinion that it needed to be removed and replaced, and they don't have any funds to purchase another tree. So there is a quote here for $450 with a 1-year warranty, replacing that tree. I know that we budgeted, is it 500 or 800 for landscaping.
Let me look here.
Okay. I know we have some money budgeted for landscaping. So, you know, we would have some funds available to replace that tree if that would be the wishes of the commissioners. We can use those funds.
Especially if the old one's dead. I'm
Yes,
okay with that.
yeah. And this through True Green Landscape. It does not include the removal though, so. I don't know how big. I don't know if it's centered there on the north side. Did you find it?
We,
Oh, County General.
we can make a motion contingent that it will come out of
That we
that
have
fund.
funds.
All right.
And then we'll probably have to get a
850.
850, okay, I was thinking 800. So if we can get a quote on removing, I don't think Rick can really do it, so I don't know, do you guys have any suggestions as far as who to contact?
Whoever's gonna plant that tree would probably be the one that we'd want to have quote remove it, just because they could do it all in one
Okay.
swipe, I would guess.
There is a phone number here, Colleen, could you, oh, is that is? See if we can get a price on removal and, you know, if it's within reason,
Yeah.
you know. I don't know, do we have to wait?
Profits from those trees are local.
Local.
Yeah.
That could be another option. But I guess just check with them, see what they would charge for removal. Um, So did you want to make that motion
Yeah,
to?
I'll make a motion to purchase, the new tulip tree.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
3-0. Do we have, did you guys have something about the tax sale or what? Okay. I don't know, do you want to come up here or, I mean, it doesn't matter. They would be close to us, and we don't have to holler.
I guess I got some questions and then I get.
Okay. What's your questions?
3, 4 weeks ago, I found out some of my property was going up for taxes. I didn't even know anything about it. It had already been up for some tax sale. And I think there's no schedule for Thursday. And,
And he's talking about the commissioner sale. So when we do a regular tax sale, the landowners are notified by certified mail. So you're saying you never received anything from the county?
No,
Let me shed some light.
Okay,
It's railroad property.
okay,
It's just a narrow strip of property
it's,
and they've been maintaining it and everything. But probably the notices went to the railroad company because it's been more or less abandoned over the
It
years.
was Julian Steel, but they went out, they ran a line out, they went out, they sold, railroad sold to Julian Steel. Julian Steel took up all the track and just left it. And some owners have contacted the railroad and got quick claim deeds. Others don't even know it runs through the property, they use it all the time. His actually is in front of his property, and he's found in his abstract where it should have reverted back to the landowner at the time it was abandoned. So he's in a kind of a quandary here on how to legally get it into his name, get it out of Julian Steel. It's too much acreage, you know, when they did that. Evelyn Hall, I think, was the assessor at the time. She had to put it on tax rolls, there's too much acreage in there for what he actually owns. But, he'd like to get it in his name somehow. And that's more legal. And he knows about, the lawyer knows about, I can't think of his name.
Can't.
I know,
What's advertised, tax savers, half acre.
And most of it's in the road right of way. I mean, actually, it's along the road.
It's actually worthless. They worth anything to be, they worth anything to anybody else. It's a ditch right alongside the road.
I think there's a couple of options, but it's mainly on the private side. You need to get your own lawyer to advise you on how to go about quiet title. And if it's in your abstract, then there's a legal process the lawyer can advise you on and file for you to get a judge to declare that that's your rightful property and get a title the right way. It's in the tax sale because of the property records, so the commissioners are just following they're not doing anything on purpose. It's just the taxes weren't paid. It's gone through tax sale a couple of times, and now it's back on the commissioner's sale. So you may talk to, if you have your own private lawyer, talk to him or her about what you could do at the commissioner's sale to buy it. That's one way to obtain title, to go through that process, or if it's in the title records and it should have reverted, then you just have to file that. I'm not giving you legal advice, but just in general, if there's something that you think is yours and the action's called quiet title, and you file it and give notice to everybody who has an interest in that land, the judge sorts it out, says it's yours or it's not.
So, here, a few years back, I thought that was all settled, because the sales bid sold, and there was overlapping. See, then, our neighbor, Roger, went over on my property if they had used the regular property line. Well, it didn't amount to much property, so I moved my line over so it missed his building. And I thought everything was up here at that time. It was settled for neighbors on both sides, but nobody else said no. And I think for having it done at that time.
Whoever did that work for you back then, you need to talk to that person and have them explain why it didn't come out right. But the county that hasn't done anything on, not that anything on purpose or something against you, it's just, it's in the commissioner's sale, and you need to talk to somebody quickly to decide whether I'm gonna take action and go that route, however the lawyer would advise you, or whether you're in the right place, but the only commissioners can't settle title issues. The only person that can do that is the judge. So it's not, the county can't just say, you're right, that's your property, and it's done. So
This is when to sell twice and I haven't sold it.
It has, and it's gone back because they realize what it is, and then they just let it go back.
it was one of the companies that just buys the certificates.
Right. So
They don't check it out.
should it hurt? I mean, I know it's an auction, right? So if they can pick it up for little or nothing, it'd probably be cheaper than going and getting lawyers and trying to do it all that way. I don't even answer.
He can't give legal advice, only general.
There are
I'll just say
fees
it's
for
a
attorneys.
non-lawyer.
Well, but I would say to anybody buying property at a tax sale, that's not they need to have, or at least research themselves, no problem, but you have to do it right. It's just buy the certificate doesn't mean it's
No, you still have to do a title
Okay,
search and,
okay,
and
yeah.
usually they get an attorney, there's fees for that.
Okay.
Because there's the notification and everything, even though, you know, it might
And
not go anywhere.
And the
but they
county
still have
does
to do
set
it.
fees so that they can't gouge whoever, like if they, when they buy property at tax sale, it's like 350 for this, is it still the same fees, 150? So the title search fees you can't just turn in $1,000, you know, because whoever's gonna redeem it, they gotta come up with that money and reimburse. So the county does have the court set those fees.
So we pay taxes on it.
No, we do not.
We didn't. Okay, sorry. I know we did.
You maintain it.
Yeah.
We maintained it.
Yeah.
And, we lived there about 57 years.
You're exactly right. I think you have claims. just
Why
that the
can't I have
commissioners-
it? Why can't we just move the property line because it's ours?
Because the commissioners don't have that power. The only person, a judge can do that for you. I mean, you have remedies.
So I can go to the judge?
Not right, I mean, you have to get a lawyer and have somebody, or you file on your own, but you have to file an action in the court. And then you go through the court process. And if it's a quiet title action, the judge says, yeah, you're right, there's different, that's why I'm saying you need a lawyer to advise you on what your rights are, what your theories are, and then prove it. And the judge will say it is or isn't. Or talk to a lawyer to explain the commissioner's certificate process. That might be like Ms. Hardy just said, it might just be an easier route. But
What is that?
That's where the property, the commissioners have a lien on the tax bill right now. And they're trying to sell it to get it back on the tax bill, so it's gonna come up for sale at this certificate sale. Is it Thursday this week? So you need to make a decision on whether it's better for you to just buy that certificate and go that route, that gets you title. That gives you the process to follow to get title. So there's a couple different routes, but I really recommend that you talk to an attorney as soon as you can to figure out, so somebody can explain it to you, and you can make a decision on what's best for you. But the committee the commissioners could, even if they voted right now and say, you're right, here's your property line, that doesn't have any legal effect. The commissioners can't change a boundary line. And either can the assessor's office or any of these elected officials.
Every time we turn around, there's a real estate place putting signs up for sale by owner.
Yep. I know,
There's been signs went up, all up and down that road, and they've been took down the trash. Look off the property, not for sale.
I would like it one bit of it happening to me, but you guys need to find the right first.
So, with 20 years, house being sold.
Right, well, the commissioner's sale is they're just buying a certificate, which is just, they're essentially buying the county's lien on the taxes. And then there's a statute that allows, once you have that, if you follow this process the right way, then at the end, you get an order, the judge signs off on what's called a tax deed, and then that gives you title. So if you buy the certificate, you're buying the right to convert that to full ownership. You know, you're just buying there's
And like that takes a year or 2 years or.
no, it takes a while, but it's less than a year.
120 days.
120 days for commissioner sale. A regular tax sale is over a year. It takes a year. But like Kent said, you really need to seek legal counsel for yourself of what your options.
I'll make a complete sale of this. If it sells under a quick claim deed or something like that, I'm gonna turn in a bill for taking care of it for 57 years.
That's between you and whoever claims they own it now. The county, that's between you and whoever claims they own it now. That's not the county's fault or issue.
First, you can get the property.
I don't blame you, but I mean, you're, I think the facts are on your side, it's just you're in the wrong, the commissioners, really aren't the right people to help out with this. They can't just start, get out of market and draw on.
Looks like, get a lawyer, fight for it.
Yeah, you definitely need to get a lawyer. And that's what Ken's telling me. He represents us, is the reason he can't answer legal questions. He's been acting pretty thorough,
Yes.
generous with his knowledge.
I don't really understand it.
Right,
You got it through.
right,
Yeah.
right.
I think everybody here feels for it, it's just the one way or the other, it's you're in the right building, but it's the person upstairs that has the power to finally give you title and settle what you need, right, is yours.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the minutes from our last meeting, April 19th. Can I get a motion to approve those?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
3-0. Claims 1 through 136 in the amount of $181,990.13, and the unpublished claims and the payroll claims.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
3-0. March report of collections for the clerk and the ambulance.
I'll make that motion.
And I will second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
3-0. Did everybody have a chance to review the Fountain County Cybersecurity Emergency Response Plan and Acceptable Use Policy?
Yes.
Okay,
I stated before, it's over my head.
okay.
Yeah,
Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
3-0. Tim, did you want to elaborate on the Plan Commission's recent meeting and what we need to act on?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can, Brandon Reynolds up on 28. He already has his heating and cooling business at his residence. And he has bought 10 acres of property on down 28. And we moved the piece of property from agriculture to commercial, so he could build his brand new building in Fountain County instead of taking it to Tippecanoe County. So that's what it is.
Okay.
It's just been simple change from agriculture to
Sure.
commercial, and it was unanimous of
Okay, all right.
to send the information.
You look like he had something. I can-
Can
Oh.
we'll have an ordinance at the next meeting.
Okay, so we don't need to make a motion today on this. We'll wait and,
You can just vote on it kind of as first reading.
okay.
Unless Darren said that through already, because he covered that meeting.
He just sent a
Certificate.
certification that Kyle signed.
Okay. We'll go ahead, I think, go ahead and vote to approve the favorable recommendation.
Okay,
All right, we'll make a motion to approve the favorable recommendation.
I'll second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
3-0. Okay, now I guess we're ready for department heads. Sandy, I guess we got you first, so.
I'm not asking for anything, I'm just here for information, to give you information. My data collector that I hired last year found out in November she had breast cancer. She's had a double mastectomy, and we kind of put off to see how she would get. She's back to work. I want to put her as part-time and hire a new full-time data collector. I am not going to run again, so next year will be my last year. So I need to get Missy trained on my job, someone trained on Missy's job. Sue's my age. She's not sure how long she'll stay. So I need to get people in there. What I want to do is put Tracy on as part-time, getting a grocery multiplier, which will be mostly desk work, calling, and putting into the computer the rents and the purchase price of rentals. I would like to, I'm going to go to the council and see if I can't raise her pay from the $9 to $14, because she will be doing some pretty icky work. Calling landlords and getting information. If she can't get the information, then she's got to contact the renters, things like that, you know, she's going to get all that. But it's mostly information, because I got to go to the council to get her pay changed. But I wanted to let you know that I am going to be shifting. Next year's budget will have another full-time person. And then after that, after next year, then I'll be gone and Missy can come in.
Someone else's headache.
Yeah, and someone else in the house. I got one more year of Formal 11.
And since you brought that up, Sandy, I know we received a letter from the ambulance department. Are the commissioners wanting to continue getting letters from department heads when they're asking to replace someone? I'm just asking because I don't want to have one department do it and then no one else is doing it. So when they asked, I went ahead and I had Garth do a letter on, because he's always done it in the past. But it just kind of brought up what we do with the other departments when they're replacing. Because there's been a hiring freeze, and I know they want documentation, and I don't know what, Colleen, if you get audited on any of that stuff, if anybody, really cares. I just thought this was just an opportunity to bring that up and ask.
I don't think it's a bad idea to have it on paper.
I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
It covers us, and then also it kind of gives us a heads up that there's going to be a departmental change. Because we have some departments, they'll put somebody on payroll. It may be
It's
2
a
or 3 weeks.
surprise.
Well,
Yeah.
where's my pay? Well, you haven't told us you've got a new person, so it would help us.
Yeah. So Sandy, if you can do that for Colleen, that'd be great. And then she'll just file it.
Oh, that's fine.
And that way it kind of gives her a heads up of what is coming.
Well, I don't have to get new money because I have some part-time money.
Right, yeah,
Plus, Tracy's not worked almost this whole year, so what I pay Amber,
yeah.
my new data collector, and Tracy together, I can kind of move money around
Right.
the payroll without asking for additional.
Correct.
And this is all
Yeah.
reassessed.
And what I'm saying has nothing to do with you not
Yes,
having
I know.
money. It's just more, it helps her payroll.
Well,
'Cause-
that's why I wanted to come to you guys first,
Okay,
and then I'll
yeah.
go to the council.
Okay.
Next week, so that I wasn't trying to sneak
Sure.
stuff behind your backs and.
No,
not
that's,
letting people
that's
know
fine.
what's going
So,
on.
yeah, I think we appreciate that.
Yeah.
And just a couple of quick sentences. explaining
Yeah,
the full-time,
nothing really
part-time.
elaborate, just to
Yeah.
let us know that you're not asking for additional funds, you're just replacing a
I may have
position.
to at the end. I don't know how it will work out, because I
Yeah.
haven't
Right,
set the figure
right.
yet,
Yeah,
but it wouldn't be much.
and we'll let the council,
Yeah,
deal
they
with
can
that.
handle it.
Yeah,
Right.
okay,
Okay.
sounds good,
Thank you.
thank
That's all I
you.
have.
Thank you.
Rusty? He's smiling.
I know. He's always smiling, even when it's a bad report. it's fine.
I need more money.
I know, so don't we all?
Well, I do have a lot of things, and some of that was addressed earlier, the importance of drainage and the lack of not having it, past several years. And we are trying to address that, but it's hard to get drainage on almost 800 miles of road when you Don't have everything you need. So, that being said, I'll stop with that. I have a issue up on 1400 North. It's a vast cave-in, suck out section. Roger and I have looked at it. He has a couple contractors to submit a bid on it, which I appreciate that. However, the unknowns are atrocious on this situation. And that being said, the two bids I have, one was Stall Services for $17,655, and the other one was from Bell at $26,800. That being said, it looks like there's a comparison gap between them, but if you read the fine print of what they're seeing on the ditches, there's two, we're not comparing apples to apples. Okay, and I'm not trying to choose either one. The project is way bigger than we can handle. I'm just saying, this is a road that has 800 cars a day on it. It is a very narrow, almost 22-foot in spot road with blacktop. The average speed is 65 miles an hour and a 50-mile-an-hour posted area. It's going to be dangerous. It needs to be fixed immediately. My recommendation would be, just looking at what I see right now, I would pick Bell based on his past, what he's done. That's just mine. I'm not asking that you do that, but I've got to get something done. So however you folks want to take it under advisement, I really think we need to jump on it before that. I'd be more than glad.
Souls put two different bids in.
Pardon?
Souls put two different bids in, one for if it's a 15-inch tile, one if there's no tile down there.
That's the way I understand it, yes. Yes, there's three actual bids. Yeah.
Mr. Stoll presented two bids, one with a 15-inch tile and one with an 8-inch tile.
Solid core, right? Yeah.
Because he believes, he went and visited the site, and he believes there may not be a tile there. It may just be an old ditch that was badly constructed and started sinking. When I went with Rusty and looked at it, I think there may be a tile there. Again, there's no way to tell because there is an outlet that goes towards the creek. There's a place where water is coming out of the ground, but it has been collapsed over. So it's a hit or miss. We have to excavate it to find out what there is there.
Right.
Mr. Stoll gave it what it is and he said, this is what it's going to cost if it's an 8-inch or this is what it's going to cost if it's a 15-inch. Mr. Bell identified the fact that it's very close to the road. He needs to put shore boxes to get down to it, and he needs to move the telephone line. That's why his price is differential. Now, since Mr. Stoll is sitting right here, he can tell you, I don't care about the telephone line or the boxes. I'm going to still stick with my price. Or he can identify that this is going to cost more. But Bell, in his price, has the fact that he's going to be using shoring boxes because it's right. We cannot lose the base of the road. It's that simple. We cannot fix one problem to get to a bigger problem. And there's telephone lines that run through there. That's why I believe the big differential between the two. I mean, these guys do it for a living. But Mr. Stoll is here. You can ask questions if you have.
You can shore up.
I don't think it would have to be. I mean, if it needs to be, then that would be an added cost. I don't have to factor that in at the moment. But I don't think it has to be. And in regards to the size of tile, the bid sheet says something about staying out of the waterway area, the natural drainage, because of the, I'll say it as WOTUS or whatever. So, we have to stay out and the high water mark. So I would kind of want that established. And my question is, what if the high water mark is above whatever existing tile outlet is already there? Because if the high water mark I just have to stay out of is above that tile elevation, we're already pushing that tile outlet further up and further away from that channel. And so it may not be 260 feet of tile that gets put in up to the point established currently, or It might be the fact that now you're only going to be a foot deep in the ground. And at a foot deep in the ground, I would not worry about shoring up something like a road edge. Because we may not be at the road edge necessarily, we might be 5 feet over. We might end up over in the fence that those people have for the hay pasture. The horse pasture.
I can identify the high water line for the contractors. It's a jurisdictional waterway of the Corps of Engineers, so we cannot encroach on it, period. If we do, we have to go get permitting for that, and that's gonna turn this project into something we don't wanna deal with. I can identify where the high water mark is, we can put stakes there and say, do not pass this point. Okay? And as far as the depth is concerned, I don't think we're ever gonna be a foot below the surface, with all due respect to Mr. Stoll, because the sinkhole that's there right now is probably sitting at about 6, maybe 5.5, 6 feet. So if there is a tile that is sucking something out, it is at that depth. It's not a surface tile. That's what caused that big hole. That's what worried Rusty about, hey, if we have an accident here, we're gonna be liable for something going into the sinkhole. That is my opinion of what I saw in the field.
And
Now, it may be very well correct that that ditch does not have a tile in it. We don't know that. But the probabilities are there is something there because the sinkhole, the soft spots above that sinkhole, and the outlet is coming out. But as far as identifying the high water mark, I'll do that for either whatever contractor gets it, to make sure that it's protected.
And that was one of our major concerns is the depth. I know when we discussed that to get down, if it is 15, whatever, if you get to that, I can't reach it. I don't have the safety boxes. I don't have any of that specialized equipment. I did mention to Roger, I do not want an open ditch because that would be a death trap. We'd have to put guardrail, we'd have to do all kinds of stuff. So the county, we have enough backfill, we can backfill. I mean, we can furnish the backfill. I don't have a problem with that. But having time to go up there and try to find what our problem is, I just don't feel comfortable doing it with what we have. That's just my opinion. And I don't care either one. I just, like I said, I went back to past experience. So Daryl, I've never had a problem and I've never been able to work. Mr. Stahl, I've never seen anything with it. I'm sure he does good work. He's got good equipment. I don't have a problem with anyone doing it. I just need to get it done by somebody else. So whatever you guys want to do, that's.
I think it's probably in our best interest to take it under advisement.
Yeah, I mean, because we really, and in all fairness, Mr. Paul or Mel, we really don't know what we're dealing with. I mean, it's going to come to a point where somebody is going to have to open it and say, here's what we got. And I think Roger and I both agree with that.
I think to be fair to the commissioners, Mr. Stahl should provide what the extra cost would be for storing and moving equipment.
Right.
That way,
Figures
you're comparing apples to apples.
Right.
As he indicated, that if that's the case, it's gonna be an extra cost.
Yeah.
We'd like to know what that extra cost is.
So we'll take the current under advisement contingent that you get us a new bid, to
I'm willing to
compare to,
bid.
yes.
One thing Rusty did not mention, to the commissioners are aware of, the county is responsible for road closure and redirecting
Right.
traffic. We did not put that on the contractor.
Right.
Okay, yep.
We're aware of that. So the signage and everything else with it. Also, I have one more while Roger's here, and I was contacted by a couple farmers off northeast corner of Richland Township. Is a ditch. It's a tile that opens into a ditch that becomes Little Shawnee Creek that comes all the way down through Richland under the road in Newtown on 341, out across 55, and then it joins up another one. That thing's a mess. Years ago, that used to be an assessed county open ditch. I'm talking long years ago. The funding was assessed on taxes and what have you. I don't know where it stands today. So I called Roger and asked him if he would do some research for me on that because I couldn't answer the question. So
I did.
he did? Okay, so.
It is highly likely that that gentleman's property is on a regulated drain. It is an inactive regulated drain, which we're gonna talk a lot about that today, and what are we gonna do about activating these drains again. It is within the watershed of the inactive regulated drain. So there, it has been assessed in the past, there should be theoretical funds somewhere sitting for it. If it has not been assessed because they just quit on it, then it will start getting reassessed moving forward if you guys decide to reactivate it. But from the look at it, from the historical, from the watershed, everything of it, that he's right there. But that situation is no different than you will see of 32 other drains that I have that I want to share with you.
Right.
It's just that this gentleman is saying something about it. A lot of other farmers, either doing it or not saying it.
And had I not received the call, I wouldn't even look at it. Sure. I just don't go look at the ditches, so. I sent in the email with the spot, I had the latitude, longitude on that, did I do good?
Well.
All right. Now, let's get down to, this, I think, Travis, did we get them, the 10-mile-an-hour signs up?
No, we did get a new other.
We got it? Okay.
Not put them up yet.
But we fixed the deck at the Rob Roy Bridge.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Travis,
I'm listening.
there were some concerns about that bridge, that the deck got replaced, but there was some underneath issues going on. Did anybody see that, why that deck was being replaced?
Yes, we went up and took a look at it. Dustin did get a hold of, PS, doing the engineering on it. So
Okay.
everything's still the way it was, when everything expected last year.
Perfect. And we have that report in our hands in case we need to.
Yes, we did.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes, it's natural, whatever,
Got it.
deterioration. It's not determined.
I'll trust engineers.
Yes,
Thank
no
you.
determined. So we got that.
Clearance signs came in for that, yeah.
That's, he said yes.
Oh, the little clearance is coming?
And the speed limit. So we just gotta get them put up this week.
Great.
Perfect.
Okay, and then they can put their board up.
Yep.
Don't call until I get the sign. Okay. Okay, now, getting down to this. I was asked,
And you always tell me to calm down.
yeah, I would, don't get my blood pressure. Prepare a note to go to the council, okay? What I would like to go to the council for immediately is to ask for the $18,500 net off of our equipment sale. Be put in our budget so I can buy one of the toys on my list. You folks would call them toys. Total cost of it is $21,800. I think that was in the last time I reported to you. It's a thing that goes at the front of the grader that cuts the edges, that makes it manageable for us to establish on this right of way to get the material back up on the road.
So instead of just the money being received back into the highway or whatever fund that it went into, he's wanting it put on a line item, which,
Right.
you know, we have done for pipes, whatever, when it
Right.
sells to someone, we will receipt it in and then we will put it back into that line item. And that's what he's wanting to
I'm
do.
asking to do that, put that back into the equipment. I did go ahead and order that because it's about 3 to 6 months out before we can get it. Well, I ordered trucks over a year ago that you guys approved the money for, and I just found out they won't be built until maybe June. And they may be shipped without headlights or other parts. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Biden. Anyway, there are a lot of shortages, so, we're in desperate need for their chip sealer that we got new, the 15-tire pneumatic, roller. Yeah. That's $140,060. The one we have is, $19.99, am I right, Trev? And
We've had it for a while, won't
yeah, and it won't even pull the hill if it snows, so just telling you. if we're gonna do these roads and try to get this ditching and try to do all this stuff,
We've already ordered that, right?
no,
Mm-mm.
no,
No.
no. You got the chip box.
Chip
You
box.
got the distributor, and you got another grader coming if we can get them. That's the
Yeah,
least.
that's all that he's done.
Well, yeah, we need another, double drum steel roller with vibrator. Ours doesn't vibrate. When you're doing asphalt, you're gonna get a seam because you're not getting the compaction. That's 125, 450. These, I've all got bids. I got a stack of bids from everybody on these, so I'm giving you the lowest price. I know.
We don't control the money.
I know that. I'm asking you to go to the council for me. That's your equipment. You need to ask for it.
You don't want me to.
Granted, single pad foot roller.
Well, you ask, we point at me. I'll go with you, Rusty, and ask the council.
142,000.
They don't scare me.
Two hot boxes at 82,340. The hot boxes contain 4 ton. Even if you don't get done, you can plug them in and stay hot overnight, so you don't lose your material.
I'm sorry, I missed the price on that hot box because I
The
was
hot
laughing.
boxes are 41,170 each, when you
Okay.
north and south of 82,
Okay,
340.
41,170 each.
41,170 each.
Yeah.
And we're requesting
Two.
and the only reason I am bringing this is everything's titled in your names.
So can you get me copies and I'll go
I
with
will.
you? Okay.
I promise you.
Okay.
I will have copies for you. I'm just giving you, like I said, I always come asking for money, you know. Wrong place, wrong time, but they'll meet Monday, so I hope to have that for you, so you can present it to them.
Okay,
Since it's your equipment and your roads, I'm just trying to do a job. And in answer to the situation, now that we have the right of way, that helps. I think the notification to people on what we have as far as right of way needs to be addressed. I told Joe I would print up a thing for his program to explain the changes in road, reclamation on gravel, so that he can put that out, both by radio and what have you. Some people have seen the difference and they like it. Some still don't like it because they haven't seen the difference, so.
Speaking of which, Payne Road.
Yeah.
The idea of now to go back. And they were just saying. that they
No, I know.
tried to get by Memorial Day weekend and get the roadside mowed.
Well, there's not gonna be roadside and other ones we get the ditches, so, I mean, you can answer that. When we go out with the ditching, there won't be anything mowed this year. I mean, next year, we'll try to have them slope so they don't tear the road up when they spin those 20-foot mowers around.
now Rusty,
But
I
then
did,
We're going to the thing too, to where we're only going to do so many miles string.
We're
Trying
trying,
to do it all at
yeah,
one time.
we're gonna try to fix what we gotta,
Okay.
even if we
Yeah,
don't
try to-
properly
Right.
fix
And
it.
I think that, up in that area, and I went up and looked at Beulah. Beulah to me looked great. I mean, there was a pile of gravel there, at the side, just like you said there would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had some dirt in it. You have to get even the dirt, the grass out of gravel.
Yes.
So, I mean, they get what you're doing.
Well, and the biggest problem is we thought the spiked, pad foot roller that Mr. Campbell loaned us would work. And we're still gonna try. Mother Nature is not cooperating. Matter of fact, the first thing we were gonna do today is we're gonna have to try it on 50. That's our biggest, we wanna get 50 done. That's close enough to the jail and ambulance service, everybody can see that. But once that road is complete, it's only 1.5 miles, 2 miles long. Once that's complete, then drive down that and says, well, hell, this is better than the chip seal.
Right.
Then I think it would be a big turning point into this program. Purdue went out of the way to get this program. only because we had connections in the past, was I able to get our people in it. And the next one's in White County, it's May the 18th, and hopefully Montgomery County or Park will get the next one. I have 2 guys that need to go to that, so I'll be sending, if Montgomery or Park get it, I'll be sending those 2 guys that can complete it.
Now, Rusty, I don't know what kind of information they give out to you, but I did reach out to that company because I wanted to put something on Facebook just to but I
Okay.
wanted to word it right. So I just want to let you know, I did reach out and I'll communicate with him again as whether he wants to talk to the 3 of us, via Zoom or something to fill us in. But I just wanted to write up something little to where I wasn't stretched. I just wanted the facts of what you were doing, and I didn't know if you had anything, and that's why I reached out to him.
Right, and he, I'm trying to make connections now to meet him May when he's in White County.
Oh, okay.
And hopefully to get,
that'd be good. Can one of us go too, or?
yes, you can all go.
Because that way, just getting it firsthand
Right.
and, I could just make sure
actually
that-
watch it being done.
okay,
See, right now, I have 8 individuals trying to do what it takes 6 of them together to do.
Mhm.
And you can't do that because it creates a problem. Now, we've settled some of the problem, but we haven't settled it. And compaction is our biggest factor right now. We're fighting because we don't have the equipment to do it properly.
Right.
And
Okay.
thus, I presented you with what it takes. And I don't personally think you can wait another year based on costs rising and what have you. I think we need to try to get some kind of an action this year, at least for compaction. The grading and that disc, if I get that 18, I've got enough money in the budget with that to buy that one. And I think that lead grader can cut both sides while the others are coming and doing their part. And we get compaction right behind them, and the final 2 do the final grading and put the 53s compacted. You're gonna have a super high. I mean, that's what your gravel roads are gonna be like compared to now. You're still gonna find soft spots that are gonna push in on you. We'll have to dig them out and redo them. But the width, the school bus safety, the semi safety, the farmer safety is gonna be phenomenal as to what it is now. He's got a particular road that once we cut the center out of it and get him some banks, he didn't have to worry to go 6 foot down over him. And there's no place but guard. None. And I do mean 60 foot to the bottom. And he can tell you that. We have got to establish these gravel roads. And if you don't do that, I mean, regardless of who sits in the seat, that program, you've adopted it, you need to push it, and whoever comes in this, you need to back him up and get what he needs to get it done. So, that being said, I'm done unless you have something else. You got another one?
We're all kind of confused on this, just call it Doolin Road, because I have no idea what to call it. Mark Doolin Road.
Doing?
Yeah. Last month, or last meeting.
Bill
I
Stonecipher.
thought we basically said, go ahead.
And put
We
it, and
discussed
put it back on.
Maintenance. Ken, I think,
Well, no, my,
had an issue.
the original issue was that the potential sale of one of the tracks out there, I don't know who's doing it or somebody else, but they couldn't get title insurance because the title company had said, that's not a county road, we're not gonna insure landlocked property. So, it's my understanding that, so at the last meeting, one way to solve that is if all of those landowners will get together and dedicate it, as long as we have good legal description, then that's dedicated and the county accepts it, and then it's in the title record. But I believe, so after that meeting, Mr. Doolin has his own lawyer who called and said, look, the title issue is solved, found it. And so if you have one title company that want to insure it, it's just an opinion of title, you can go to, they found somebody that insured it, so that was the critical issue that generated all of that. And then at that point, the lawyer said, well, but the county, that is a county road and the county needs to maintain it. Well, that's a different issue.
Yeah.
That's between the commissioners and the highway superintendent.
So you have no record of that road ever being closed?
It was never, yeah, it was not a.
Do you have it
You haven't
open?
been open yet.
Okay.
So really for us to even take it over, all the landowners would have to present us with a letter of designation back to the county.
Well, it's,
Or do we just
it's
say,
simpler than that. I mean, I think, if the commissioners want the county to maintain that, then that's in your discretion. And then I guess if one of the landowners has a problem with it, they can complain or say it's not a road, but I don't know how they would.
right?
And in order to receive funding, I have to fill paperwork out, and they have a responsible signing that paperwork. It goes to the state. You can get hold of somebody at the state to tell you what you got to do. And I've tried Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of last week, left messages. Nobody at the state works in the state office.
No.
So
Well, any of those people that.
not only does frustration hit, but it's
Oh, well, we could reach out to them.
So what-
constant battle.
Maybe they could
We're all on
guide
the
us.
same page here, let's not stray. Are we going, because what happened when we had anything to do with it or not, well before we, people were maintaining that road, was the grader guy was just being nice,
Because of
whether, yes, because there was a single lady that lived back there, she needed in and out.
ambulance.
I mean, I think we had Travis jump in and I mean, I think that's what it done. I mean, even though goodness of his heart or whatever, he can go back and do the things. So we've been halfway maintaining it anyhow.
Which brings me to another one, I'll put on your little butt, Fort Monroe.
This is
The end of our line shows right there where the road tees and goes this way and that way. There's an easement, but no road. We maintain right to that point. According to the maps, according to the thing, there's a dead end street that's not on our books. We don't maintain, although we have. So, just,
Yeah, what he's saying, you're basically opening up a can of worms. But with that being said, I think for this issue here, let us reach out to our connections. I think we're on the same page to how long is the road?
Right.
It's more of an issue of us debating that.
Yes.
It's worth.
Right.
Right. If we were previously maintaining it, I know we're not getting funding, but if we had potential to get funding for it, it makes it a lot easier to swallow with the proper paperwork.
exactly.
So let's follow through with it. That's what we're all okay with
Mhm.
doing. As long as Ken doesn't have any objection to it. And we will get in contact with Our Lady,
Mhm.
with the state, and maybe she can help guide us.
And dogs.
She supposedly can work miracles. We'll see how many miracles she can work. So
The one we met with.
Is it Debbie?
The one that, is that it?
I think.
Okay.
And then the other one down there, I call it Brewer Road. I don't know what number it is. If it's not on there, we need to get it on there at the same time too. 'Cause
Exactly.
before you came back, there was a major issue on that, and lawyers looked into that. That had never, you say it's never been a road, they say it's never been closed. It was a road, it never been closed. He was gonna end up owning, I mean, because I tell you, there were two commissioners
Right.
that would have done anything to shut that road down.
Right.
And legally, they couldn't do it. So,
Right,
now
I mean-
it is county, I mean, it is, I mean, somehow it is county, because there were two.
I don't disagree with you, I just gotta go with what I'm paid.
Right,
right,
what I'm
right,
saying
right.
is, let's get these roads on at one time when we contact you.
Yeah,
So we're not sitting here, arguing stuff, and,
Yeah, I get your frustration of maintaining something that's not on your inventory, you're not gonna pay for, I get that. But I think with some help, we can get them back going.
And I think that's where the four of us have to, and five have to. I mean, you gotta have your i's dotted, t's crossed.
Yeah.
And hope the state, anyway.
Yeah.
That's where we're at, so we'll do what we can.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Did you get your position filled?
Pardon?
Your mechanic? Did you get that filled?
No,
Are you needing help getting the word out?
yes.
Okay.
You wanna come help?
Well, I talked to Yura about it. I mean, we definitely need to do something. Yeah. No, I can't do it. I'm not. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Garth, you got 2 minutes.
Well, he left, because I need his help. Anyway, put a letter in front of you, reference, the paramedic and EMT resigned, so we're working on processing. The other one I had was, I talked with Ken on the green truck. He said that you guys have to, and I'll wait till he gets back, you guys have to declare it as surplus. We'll not make it surplus, and what we can do is set it up where we'll advertise and take bids on it, and then go from there on that. So we'll just wait on him, or I can come back and add it when he comes back. Those are the only two things I had to bring up, was those two things. But we just have to, I think he said, when he sent me an email, just declare it surplus, and then we have to advertise like bids.
I think you're right.
The cost of sale would exceed the value of the piece of asset. We
Yes.
just declare it junk and surplus, and it can be sold, or it can be disposed
So
of.
what Jeff found, and we did a little bit of research, he says it looks like we could probably get around $5,000 out of it. What he thought, give or take around 5, but that's what he's seeing with, like a trade-in or some of the trucks like that. It's,
We have somebody, I bet you might be surprised.
right.
You might get 15 or 20,000.
Yeah, I don't know, that's what I said.
Yeah.
That's kind of why, in the past, what's happened is we've put vehicles in the county auction and
Getting
made
nothing.
$250 out of it. And this has been in the garage majority of the time. It only has like 2,300 miles. That's original miles on it. It's an 89, it's got a 7.3 diesel in it.
Is that one Rusty was interested in, but didn't bring a certain amount?
Yeah. Yeah.
But then it was kind of discussed that maybe we didn't want to go down that road,
Okay, that's fine. Good.
right?
Doesn't matter.
Ken, I brought up about the green truck. You want to elaborate? They just need to mark it as surplus, vote on that, and then how they need to do that.
Yeah, the commission declares surplus, then you can advertise your bids. And you can set whatever terms or before you want. And then if you don't receive bids, then you can, I think potentially sell it, however, your discretion, But that's the process, just declare surplus. We will advertise to solicit bids to try to get it sold.
They need to vote on saying that.
Yeah.
Motion to declare surplus. Advertise for sale.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. 3-0. There you go.
There we go. So just get calling on advertising on
Mhm.
that. Okay. Do we need to do we set a minimum bid on that, or do we,
Mhm.
do you guys,
So I guess whatever Jeff, if he's seeing a certain range,
you know, set the minimum?
5,000.
yeah,
Minimum 5?
does that sound good? Okay. And then you'll just get that to her and advertise, okay?
I don't have anything else. Trying to make it short. Was it 2 minutes?
No, it's longer, but that's okay.
The sheriff's gonna get you today, if he's not here.
I know.
Yeah,
You have anything else?
no. You're 4 minutes, but that's okay.
Sheriff,
He's not
No,
here.
they're in training.
got
Eric, do you have anything? The health department?
it. Jenny?
Jenny's-
Jenny? She's back there.
Okay, well,
I've
everybody,
seen a little progress on some cleanups.
Yes. Joe, 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 do you have something? Okay.
The only couple of things is, we have 2 meetings, May 13th. You should have already got an email on it. At 4 PM, we're doing the EMA board. And the 12 noon is the LAPC, and they're both at the UAC. The only other thing is on this cybersecurity response plan. I'll start making copies and get them out to that list that's on here. There'll be 28 copies made, but they'll be given out to them. They'll be up to each office holder to make sure their employees read and understand what's going on.
Okay.
Other than that, that's all I have.
Okay, all
thank you.
right, thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Anybody else back there? 4-H, nope. Walt, did you have anything? Okay. Colleen has the annual report of, so what do we call this? Oh, the congressional schools. So, you know, we still hold those funds. I know some counties have. Can we just give one to each one to look at?
Yeah.
Three copies. And what she does, she checks her funds of those 2 funds and with the treasurer to make sure they balance. And
And I have the printouts here.
And I think I need a motion to accept these.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
You just want one signed, or do you want all 3 of them? 2 of them? Okay. Okay, so I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, aye?
All right.
Aye, 3-0.
Kent, I have, something I'll give you after the meeting here from Paulson Clause. She marked up her contact list that we look at. Nothing crazy.
Anything else? What else we got? I don't have anything else. Do you guys have anything else? I know we got a drainage board meeting. Okay,
Tow taps are the 39, we want to get it in ordinance, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I just wondered, I think the guys ordered the signs. Murals, water's coming down.
up there by the, okay.
I don't know.
Well, you know,
There's that company out of Cincinnati that Brad from Amoresco gave us. They specialize in smokestack chimneys. I'm really tired of being dead.
Well,
horse.
I can tell you, I'm frustrated with trying to bring stuff to the council and we get pushback. And so we continue to have damage and everything and nothing's getting done.
There was a company that put a quote together on that chimney, correct? That nothing was ever taken on, no action was taken on.
Yeah, because
It wouldn't have fixed what the problem was.
Okay.
they're not engineering, they were just gonna put a top on it and whatever, but that won't stop those boilers from kicking on, getting 100 and something degrees, and they're kicking off, going down, you know, condensation.
Yeah. So I guess we need to, when we,
It's one of those.
The
redundant
council,
things, is do you
yes.
fix the chimney and then tear it down a year?
Right,
Yes.
right, or tear it
Right.
down, and that's why we don't answer these questions, professionals need to.
Mhm.
I don't know, who, other than what Brad had let us do, and
Right.
that, I mean, I don't know if they came this far east.
I'm gonna reach out to a couple people,
Okay.
and see if they would have a opinion. And we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
I mean, I hate to have somebody drive with them.
Good. And then there was some miscommunication on the flower planters. He had called Kent back and said that, well, I don't have any way to get them there. And then at midnight, I said, well, that's not our problem. He needs to get them there. Well, no one specifically told Kent to do anything, so it's not what we want to do. Send another letter and say that, look, it's not our problem, we didn't take them to your house. Get them there, give them an option to buy them. I don't know. I don't know, we cannot let it not.
Well, the thing is, how did they get to his place?
Exactly, yeah.
It wasn't the county's, so.
They would have been a riprap pile a 2 year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Are you guys the one?
Where if you wanna sell them, you can, if you wanna turn them, whatever you wanna do, if we don't need them, is what I'm saying. If we get them, great, if you need a place to put them, we'll take them, but whatever is easiest for you guys to do, you're fine.
Okay.
That's another portion tired.
I'm right there with you. Kent, what do you think? I mean, do you think another letter is really gonna?
I mean.
Okay.
As far as.
I mean, because we just asked him to send a letter to give back.
He's not claiming them as his property.
Right.
It was just that they had to be moved and he had them, dropped off there. And then now you're trying to decide where they need to end up. So.
Yeah.
I think we probably need to know, this is my opinion, we need another letter that says to have them at, and then again, they have to work with Rusty on it, but have them at the fairgrounds at a certain time and date, if they're not, we'll take further action, saying we're not coming to get them. We didn't
Yeah,
take them there.
Well, I have a problem with having county employees, and then if they would happen to get hurt, on his property doing,
Oh, that.
I mean, I think about that.
Yeah. No, it's not our problem.
Right,
We didn't
exactly.
take them there.
Well, he was told not to take him to his
Because the
property
whole-
too.
I don't mean, the whole issue was during that time period, different people wanted benches, different people wanted this. I said, let's just draw a line and say everything goes to, because we thought they'd bust up anyhow. Everything
Right.
goes to riprap pile. And county highway set up, they came in, they had all their equipment here. He comes with his own equipment, loads them up and takes them to his house. I mean, the county highway had brought all the equipment, all the dump trucks to do it. This is not our problem. I mean, it is, but that's how it happened.
Yeah.
If it would have just been done right,
Right,
this wouldn't be an issue.
correct. You're right.
So, but that's just how we operate. Used to operate.
Then time goes on, you forget about it.
Yeah. That's the plan.
Okay, well,
So, anyhow, that's where we're at, so. Another one, anything?
I think that's you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can do whatever you heart desires.
I guess you can see.
I wasn't a commissioner during that time, so I'm.
Right.
I wasn't either. I just have knowledge of what was said and done. So,
Maybe you could put a clause that they could, make a donation to the county and they could become his property.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that, just so it's not flat out taking county property scot-free.
Maybe that would solve everybody's headaches.
do we want to think about it?
Yeah,
Well,
I know that
I
was-
think we should probably, you know, the county's options are legal options after this, so probably something that would be subject matter for an executive session. So
Okay.
We should talk about it further with the meeting.
Okay.
And then,
Okay.
but, we can send a letter if you break us to do it.
Okay.
I think we try, maybe try another letter and just give them the fairground. He's got needs.
I don't have anything else. Do you, Colleen? And so I guess we'll take a little break and then we'll do drainage board meeting. Is that what you want to do? Okay. Is that okay, Roger?
You might want to keep the break short because it's going to be a long meeting.
Okay. Yes, 5 minutes.